So thank you everyone for joining. It is the 15th of February, so hopefully everyone had a good Valentine's Day, and today's Wednesday. So we do have a few people that are out this week, or at least out today. Kelly is out today, so if anybody is needing assistance with Apollo support, you'll contact the support at cbtravel.com, and someone there will be able to help you out with that. Oh, got somebody else joining in. Hang on just a second. So we did not have our call last week, and so I wanted to give you all an update on where I was. I was invited to a private island. It's a new resort that is opening up in British Virgin Islands. The island is called Buck Island. The resort is the Ariel. It was quite the experience. It was different than I had anticipated it was going to be. I don't know exactly what I expected. Typical fam trip, go explore the island, experience the food and the just being there. Traveling right now to British Virgin Islands, I think I had a total of 4 COVID tests in that week. So I had to get my COVID test 5 days before departure. With BVI, you do an arrival application. So I'd go online and do my application, upload my negative test, upload my travel insurance, proof of travel insurance, at least 48 hours prior to departure. And you're not able to board the flight out of the US without having received the approval from BVI that you were authorized to arrive there. So it was an interesting process to go through. Upon arrival in Tortola, they escorted you to a welcome center. And at that welcome center, they had the medical team there prepared and ready to give you your COVID vaccine. In the application process, you paid $175, which was your COVID test upon arrival. So upon arrival, you go in, the full hazmat suit medical team is there. They do a COVID test upon arrival. You get your results within 48 hours. You are to quarantine while you're in BVI. Going to that private island did open up we were able to say that we were visiting friends and family. We were staying in an isolated home. So our quarantining was there on the island. And upon arrival at the island, we had another test. This one was a rapid test for the property to be able to show that they had people there that were all negative. And then they arranged for a medical concierge to come to the resort, to the island, for us to do our COVID tests to get back into the US. So like I said, I had 4 COVID tests for this one trip. They all went very easy, very seamless. It was $150 at the resort for the full COVID test to come back. So in all, it's a little over $300 in COVID tests for BVI, and then my COVID test at the clinic while I was here that was able to go directly through to insurance. The island itself is small. I know we've had a couple of people, at least Eileen Spear, I know, has just recently gone to Necker Island. I have not been to Necker Island, so I don't really know what to compare this to, other than I've been to Brando, and that was a very different private island experience because it was not an exclusive use private island. The Ariel is definitely exclusive use, and it has the price tag to go along with it. Nightly rate is $40,000 a night. It can accommodate up to, they say 30 people, but that's having someone in a loft area in a room. So depending on who it is you have, a teenager may be fine to be putting into a loft. I'm not much of a loft sleeper, so I don't know that adults would necessarily be the person I'd be wanting to accommodate in that area. I think you comfortably sleep 26 people, 2 people to a room. So depending on what you've got, if you have an incentive group, if you've got a group of adult couples that all want to travel together, if you've got 13 couples that all want to travel together, then they're going to be able to share that cost, and that cost does come down. So this is not something that you're going to sell to every client of yours, but it is out in limited capacity. It is an invite only, and we are one of the agencies that has been invited to sell this property. So very exclusive, very, I'd say the focus of the owner and her entire staff is well-being, health and wellness, very big focuses. So the food is much vegetarian, vegan, with the ability to put in different meat proteins as well. So they can customize that, but they really do an excellent job at that vegan and vegetarian lifestyle. So if you have clients who food is very important to them, this is another great place for them to go. Great destination wedding. It's going to be at the higher end of a destination wedding, but they're partnering with a company that is going to do the glamping tents on the beach. So they would be able to accommodate then even more than the 26 by having those glamping tents. We were not able to see exactly what they look like, but she told us that those will be a great experience as well. Some other things that we had gone over on the island, she's doing, so the island is owned by a single female. She is like 34 years old. She was born in 1988, which really scares me that anybody in 1988 owns a private island. She's self-made millionaire. She grew up really with not a whole lot and has made very aggressive forward motion in very determined and deliberate actions that she has taken with her career. She has a coaching company as well. And so there are some opportunities on this island to do that. She calls them the Elevate Summit. Her name is Brittany Turner. And so the island is Buck Island in British Virgin Islands, and the name of the property is the Ariel. It is just opening, so really just getting started. She is doing 4 different summits in the year, and they are wellness summits, but some of them are more wellness as far as wealth or your business focus. She's a great coach. Again, her name is Brittany Turner. I'll get you guys this information on the island. I'll get it out to everybody. Again, the price point to get started is $40,000 a night, and that is all inclusive. So that includes the boat transfer from Tortola, the accommodations, all food, water sports, non-motorized water sports, and then they have the ability to fully customize an incentive group or a destination wedding, anything that you would want to have there, as well as fully customize the menu for your clients while they're there. So if you're looking for that exclusive piece to market out to your clients, this is one of those. And $40,000 per day, and it accommodates about 26 people comfortably with 2 people per room, and up to 30 if you've got one of the rooms that has a loft that you could put 1 or 2, and I would say teenage children into those loft areas. I will, I've got a one-page sheet that she is sending us that has some details on the different room breakouts and bed types. All of the rooms are king bedded, but then the king beds can be divided into 2 single beds. The food was fantastic. The staff was fantastic. I would highly recommend this to any of those clients that you have that are right for this. And I understand that this is not going to be the right solution for everyone. And right now with BVI, there is no island hopping, but once COVID restrictions lift, she said that they would absolutely, she loves doing the island hopping. So that would be able to be incorporated into some of those incentive groups or anything else that you would have going on. And if you have any clients that just are yacht charterers and they're looking at an island to stop at for a day to get out and have beach time, she would be open to renting out the beach for the day or renting out all of the facilities for the day. So we can talk about that as well. Any other questions about Buck Island or the aerial? And I will get all of this sent out to you guys so you have links to the island and some photos. And any questions that you have, feel free to email me as well. Oh, there is a minimum stay. Yes, it's a 4-night minimum. So you're looking at probably, 160, 200,000 for a stay for your clients. And again, if that is going to be, a group of 10 couples, or if that is a, large multi-gen family, there's a lot that I would not say that this is a good island for small children. It is perched up on a hill, and so there is some cliffs in some areas. If they're going to be small children, definitely would need a dedicated nanny to the children. And there is a nanny or a staff room. So even if you have clients that would travel like with their own security, or they'd travel with their, it's an executive retreat and they've got an assistant, then there is a room that would not be as elite as some of the others. It is a fantastic property. If you've got a wellness retreat that you're wanting to put together and have those clients that are very high end, they have a yoga instructor on staff. And like I said before, the food is very healthy food options. The chef there's 2 chefs. They were both very skilled in cooking vegan, vegetarian. They made accommodations to people that were more, there's varying degrees. There's pescatarian, there's vegetarian, there's vegan, there's a lot of different options, and they were very well in tuned with what people's dietary restrictions are and made accommodations for people accordingly. For the most part, we had, everything was delicious. It was all very good food, and the alcohol is included. The alcohol, she said, would again be something that you would go over when you're doing the meal selection or the menu selection with your clients. If there is something specific of brand that they're looking for, if they are big champagne drinkers and are going to be drinking champagne at every meal, she probably doesn't have that much champagne just on stock, so would be something to know in advance so that she has those stocked up. It was a great experience. It was good to travel. It was good to get out of the country and use my passport again. It was good to experience the COVID requirements and coming back into the States. Everyone was asking for the COVID letter every stop that I made. So it was good. The one thing I can say is my United flight from Houston back to Denver was every single seat full. Middle seats, everything was full. My flights going out, Pretty empty. I'd say the center seats were definitely empty, and there were a lot of window or aisle seats that the full row was not taken. But on that flight, that last leg from Houston back into Denver, they were asking for volunteers. There was every single seat was full on that plane. So feel free to ask me any other questions that you have on that. I'm more than happy to go over that with anyone. I do have, you should have all received an email last week that was from Chase, and it was announcing they're inviting you to our teams. So we do have that open to our guests. So anybody that is not on our Microsoft Teams, you do have access to that. We will start putting more content there. I'd like to get a feel from you guys as you start to use this, because I'm seeing that this could be a replacement for a couple of things. One, we could use this rather than our Facebook group. So even those that do not like to be on Facebook would have the benefit of sharing information with the rest of our independent contractors. And for many of you, it's very important to you that you are not on Facebook. And we have so much information to share. I don't want to leave anybody out. And so we really are looking for a solution to share information, share insights, really that peer-to-peer communication with each other outside of the Facebook environment. So give this a try, take a look, see how you navigate through it. Let me know if you have any questions on it. I will start adding some content into it as well. The other piece that it will potentially replace is it will act as an intranet for us, where we can upload files, we can have a resource guide, we can take some of that information off of the Air Portal Resource Center and refocus it here in our Teams channel so that we have information there for you guys. So very interested to get your feedback and see how you guys feel in navigating that system. So I right now have 3 different channels that I have set up. One is just general information. Another is feedback on travels or inside information that you have. And then another is just the looking for recommendations. I have clients going, so-and-so, do you recommend this over this? That would be great in the looking for recommendations. If there's other topics that you would like to see added as a channel, let me know and I can get those added in there as well. So we can organize that a little bit more. Instead of everything going into one feed, we can have different channels of feeds so that you can kind of narrow down the filtering of what it is you're looking for. We do have, oh, I'm sorry, somebody had asked a question about the masks. Every airline, well, I was on United and then Cape Air. United at the gate has information that you are required to wear a face mask. I did not see anybody without a face mask. They made several announcements on the flight that face masks were required unless you were eating or drinking. Then you could remove your mask to do that, but then keep it immediately back on. And there was not anything related to a specific type mask, but they were making announcements that like handkerchiefs were not approved and that there were no masks with the vents in them. So I had a mask that I had like the cloth mask that you can do the insert in. I had that on. That's what I wear everywhere I go. And that's what most people were wearing, were the, the ones that you buy either at the store or online. Few people had the like medical masks on, but nothing that they weren't, that I saw, doing anything that was really specific to the masks, other than saying that it is, the requirement to wear masks, and they did several times make sure that people were on their masks. I did hear a flight attendant one time behind me remind someone to have their mask put on and that it needed to cover their nose. So I have a feeling they had their mask on, but it just wasn't up over their nose all the way. And that was out of Denver, out of Houston. Tortola was just the little Cape Air flight, but everybody was in a mask there as well. The rules were not lax at all once I was in BVI. And then same thing returning. We have a couple upcoming webinars. A&K, Julie just sent out that this week's Wanderlust Wednesdays with A&K is featuring Kirk Reynolds, who is the new USA Destination Management for A&K. So if you guys have not seen the webinar with the USA DMC for A&K, then I recommend that you join that webinar. It is on Wednesday at 1 p.m. Central, so 12 o'clock Mountain Time. And again, that was an email that just came out from Julie Scree today. He's a great guy. If there's anything you need US with A&K, he's the go-to for that. And then Meredith has a couple of webinars that she has set up. The 21st, Meredith, the 21st I'm showing is a Sunday. So double check the date that you sent me on that one. That is the Antipodal with New Zealand Luxury Lodges, Australia, Fiji, and Canada. And then February 25th is with Seabourn. So those invites have been sent out. Make sure you get those added onto your calendars. And
Antipodal is on the, sorry, it's on Tuesday the 23rd.
The 23rd, okay.
Is that right? The 23rd, yeah. Tuesdays and Thursday.
Tuesday and Thursday next week. Great, thank you. Let's go golfing on the 21st. That sounds awesome. I hope it is not freezing cold and snowing for you. I hope that most of you are coming out of this deep freeze that has been moving past the United States. It was 16 degrees below zero when I woke up this morning. It's up to like 25 now. So very good. Yesterday, I think we were at 2 all day long. I do not have any other updates other than, you know, I'll address the unused tickets. I am waiting right now for an update as to where we are with the import of the unused tickets and when they're anticipating to have that completed, as well as for those of you that have multiple accounts that you need access to, and this doesn't affect everyone. The majority of you have one account number, which is your agent sign or your house account, but several of you have multiple accounts, and those we're still in the process of getting that access. Booking Builder for Apollo, we did have an error that was on the Booking Builder side. I've been told that that has been fixed, that you should be able to now go through with that same link. It's been fixed on their side within Booking Builder. So if you have not tried it again, either Friday or today, give it a try. I have heard reports of the Booking Builder kicking people out of SmartPoint. So I would like feedback on that. If you're struggling with or getting any kind of error messages or getting kicked out of SmartPoint, let me know that so I can report that to them as well. Kelly last week was able to get Booking Builder to install. She was able to get the pop-up to come up and notify of unused tickets. So that was in Apollo, and that was working. But then I did hear from someone this morning, Danielle, that was getting kicked out of Booking Builder was kicking her out of SmartPoint. So it would be good for me to get that feedback from you guys.
Oh wait, Kristen, that was as of Friday.
That was as of Friday? Okay.
Yeah. I haven't been cooked out this morning or today, but it is still have a little bit of a lag in the program between Smart Pine. It's slowing it down a little, but I haven't been kicked out yet again today.
Okay.
But on Friday, I was kicked out like 6 times.
All right. Well,
yeah, thank you.
Good news today that has not kicked you out, because I know that is frustrating. So give it a try today to download. That link should work now. And Kelly is out today, so if you want to wait until tomorrow when Kelly is back and do that when she is available, that is fine as well. I don't have the update yet on when the final tickets will be imported in. Janice is responsible for doing that, and with no school today, she is out with her kids at home. So she will be back in the office tomorrow, and I will get an update from her on that. Meredith or Allie, did either of you have any other updates for everybody?
I don't, other than if I had sent out an email regarding some new marketing that Virtuoso has released for Best of the Best and Virtuoso Life. So if anybody doesn't know what I'm talking about, I didn't get that email, please reach out and I can give you that information. Or if anybody has any questions, please let me know on that front. But other than that, I don't have any new updates.
Okay. And continuing to update you on Revelex, I know this seems like it is going slow. We did run into a couple of programming things that we've gone back to them. We should, by the end of this week, be able to test those, that they have been corrected, and we can continue on with that testing. And then we will have our pilot group do some testing over the next couple of weeks and be able to move through into the next phase of testing with that. And touch base on border closures. Looks like some are now closed to 2022. Absolutely. I don't, Danielle, which borders do you want to see if anybody has specific information on borders?
Well, Christine, this is Danielle. I had heard, maybe it's just been a little over a week now, that I believe Canada sent out a notice that they'll be closed until January, February of 2022, the border. And then I'm hearing that Australia and New Zealand, they were due to open up in July, then it was November. But then speaking with the agents at Classic, they said their product team has heard directly that they don't believe it's going to open until after the first year. So I just don't know if anybody else has heard of border closures anywhere around, because we should maybe let our clients know this as they're planning for trips to, push off for a while longer.
And I just want to make sure you guys all know that on our Andavo Vacations website, we do have access to the SIADA, which is you can type in where your clients are going to, and that will tell you any updates or restrictions that there are in the travel. And then on the Christofferson side, they've got a tool called Sherpa, and you can do the same thing and be able to look into and see if there's any restrictions or updates on those destinations.
And we also have the link to the Sherpa on the Andavo Vacations website. It's not branded to us, but the link is on there too. So you can find that if you just want to click. If you're on the same website, you can just click on that link.
And those are on the AndavoVacations.com website, not AndavoTravel.com.
Kirsten, did you want to mention that Kovac insurance, that Kovac Global insurance?
Yeah. If you want to go ahead, and Meredith, I don't have a whole lot of information other than I've seen a couple of people that have sent it over to me that they attended a webinar.
That's about what I've seen too. And I don't know, Jamie, if you're on the call, and I know Kay Merrill had done a call
Yeah.
with them as well, but basically what it is, it's specifically designed for COVID. Pretty expensive, but it's very comprehensive as to what it will cover for COVID, unlike our major carriers like Travelex, Allianz, those kind of things. This is designed, but I would say it's probably 2 or 3 times the cost, but it will certainly insure everybody. And as I said, I don't know if Jamie's on the call, if you want to speak up about it.
I've got a couple of links that I have put in to the chat as well that came over from the email. It looks like Dominic Dubé is repping for the Kovac Global. So there, in fact, I will forward this email out that I received that has some links to it, so everybody has that.
Kirsten, this is Jamie. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Jamie, huh?
Okay. Yes, sorry. It took me a second to find the button. Yes, I was on the call, and I think the major difference between that and the MedJet is the MedJet, you have to be hospitalized, and the Kovac, you just have to test positive and show at least one symptom. And it's kind of, so you buy a policy for a certain amount of days. So like say you buy a 30-day policy, well, you can take one trip that's 7 days, and then you can save the rest for another trip that's a different amount of days too.
And their reach is far greater than that of MedJet. Is that correct?
Yes, but there's certain stipulations, like you can't use it at the Olympics, and you can't use it at like sporting events, and if you're going to places that are high risk, which it kind of makes sense for something like that. I guess just the one thing is I don't know anybody that's used it before, but I think it's something to research, and for people who have people asking about it, like Meredith said, it's a high price, but some people are willing to pay that for that peace of mind. So it's something, if you want to get commission for, or if you want to just say, here, look at it yourself, and then not hold yourself accountable to it too. I'm not sure, whatever people prefer. But it'll be interesting to see, because they were saying beyond COVID, they're going to look into growing their business in other ways, as I think insurance will definitely change as we continue to travel in the future. So it's a company to look out for in the future, I think.
Okay.
Jamie, I wasn't very clear. Is it comparable to a MedJet other than the difference we said? But am I correct? It doesn't cover you prior to your departure, like trip cancellation. Is that correct?
No, it's only evacuation. That's it.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But that was a big deal.
And you have to purchase it 14 days before travel, the initial policy too. So.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think if anybody's interested, do watch that webinar. And I think she's holding them a couple times because she had so much interest in it.
Great. Thank you. Anything else? Anybody wants to cover?
I had a question for Danielle. Danielle, you said that I had not seen that about the Canadian border remaining closed until January. I know they had come out with that about Alaskan waters, that they were closing it to cruise, but now this is specific to any kind of travel in and out of Canada regardless?
I haven't gone back and gone on to their website to look at it recently. I know something came out in the media. It was back on around the 5th, and another agent told me, and they sent me a link, but I ended up deleting it. So I don't know if it's just the entire border or just for. I thought it was for the entire border, but I can go look and send you something on it.
Yeah, what I had heard about that time was that they had decided to close it to all cruises until 2022. But that's not to say they haven't gone further with that, but that is the last I had heard, is that it applied to any ship sailing in Canadian waters over 100 passengers. So in essence, it would allow for, some of the expedition cruises to still operate if you can get into Canada. But that's what I don't know. But I guess we need to find out about that. And I see some comments in the in the chat about that.
It looks like it says Canada extends U.S. border closure through February 20. Oh wait, that's just through February of 21. I'll keep looking and see what I can find for you, Meredith.
Okay. I just think it would be interesting for us to, like I said, I had heard that about cruises, but that would be very interesting to hear if that were the case. They've been very, very conservative for sure on that.
Yeah, so then Mary said that she just heard they're confirmed that the land restrictions are being reviewed for this year and that the cruise closures are confirmed.
Ah, perfect. Thank you.
And someone is sharing their screen. Rusty, it looks like you clicked to share your screen. Next week on the 22nd, Mike will be joining us to give us his update. So please join us for that as well. And if you have any questions that you would like to have Mike address, let me know those in advance and I will make sure to get those over to him so that he can have those prepared into his presentation. And Rusty, it looks like you're still sharing your screen. If you want to just click on the little X by the share screen, that should take that off for you. There you go. And Margie says she's got a lot of Alaskan cruises booked and the cruise lines keep saying they don't know yet. Yeah, I don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but that is something that it sounds to me, and Colette just said it sounds like a lot of cruise lines will just be bypassing Canada altogether. Has anybody else traveled recently that they want to share their experience in travel? All right. Okay, we've got some coming in here. Let me get back over to the chat. Tried to rebook cruises for Alaska 22 and they were on a pause. No 2022 bookings at the moment. Oh, Jamie's going to Casa de Campo March 7th. That will be exciting. Eager to hear about that. I now do not have any more travel planned, unfortunately. It was so nice to get on an airplane and leave. And Cheryl's supposed to go to Cabo in May. Very good. We'll be looking forward to hearing about that. Oh, and Donna will be at Miraval next week. Very good. Rusty, we're still seeing your screen. I don't know if there is. There, it looks like it got turned off. Thank you. Sharon booked a 2022 Alaska on Regent last Friday. Good. Sharon, do you know what, does the itinerary bypass Canada? Does it leave from the US and bypass Canada altogether? Is into Anchorage and out of Vancouver. Okay. Well, we'll see if there are any adjustments made on that. Hopefully this will, the vaccines will get widespread. The cruise lines will get their COVID regulations in place and get the all clear to sail from the CDC. There was a person there at the Ariel there were two people there that were with a company called Vaccines to Go. They work very closely with the CDC. And one of the things they're getting out to market is these, and now I wish I could remember what they're called. I'm going to call it photosynthesis ionization, and I don't think that synthesis is the right piece. It's photo something ionization. They're little boxes, almost look like a smoke detector, that can be installed in, and they're looking at working with cruise lines and hotels to get them installed so that a room can be cleaned within 20 minutes. So a guest departs, they can turn this on and it can get the room cleaned. And then when it is on, your air is clean a foot outside of your mouth. So you have your air that you're breathing outside a foot radius of you, then the air is clean. So I'm very looking forward to following this company and seeing how they're able to get that product out into market and be able to have clean air for all of us to breathe, free of all these nasty little germs. So I will get some more information on that as well. But it was a very interesting conversation with those people. So, and having worked with the CDC on different guidelines, we gave them some feedback on some of the frustrations that we have on the travel industry with the COVID testing, and that there are so many different variations, and then it changes on a dime. And it would be nice to, at least for us, to be able to have some consistency. If it's 3 days, if it's 5 days, what it is that is required pre-travel and then returning back in. So we're doing great on getting the vaccines out there, though. So that's good. I know many of you have done either your first and second rounds of the vaccine, and so that's great. We will celebrate that anytime people get their vaccine. We want to make sure people are getting to where we can travel again. So I don't have any other updates. I have some information I'll be getting out to all of you guys. And then for next Monday, if you have anything that you'd like me to send on to Mike, make sure I have that probably by Thursday of this week so that he can get that added into his agenda for Monday as well. You guys all have a good week. It's great to see you all. Great to hear from you all. And I will see you next week. Thanks, everybody.